You were telling me earlier that you have a pretty big comedy record collection.
I do. Yeah,
We were talking about Rickles.
People ask me like when I knew I was going to be a comedian, and it was like, I don't know, 5.
Yeah.
Like watching The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson with my parents. I'm not at 5. I wasn't doing that, but I was like everything that was comedic, comic books early on. I was not comic books like nerdy, comic books like Archie and Peanuts. Like when I was like 5, like anything that was funny. And then I started collecting comedy albums and memorizing them at a young age. And my parents were pretty cool about letting me, you know, at the age of like 12 or whatever, listening to Pryor, and Lenny Bruce, and I loved Steve Martin at the time. I went to see him in concert when I was like 10 or 11.
You went? Oh, no kidding.
When he was like really big.
Oh wow, like the stadium shows.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. It wasn't that big. It was probably a 2,000 seater.
No kidding.
Yeah, so he wasn't at the peak, but he was
right. Yeah,
he was getting there.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
That's amazing. As a 10-year-old.
It's so funny. I haven't even thought about that in so long. It's almost like a different life. Like, yeah, I saw Steve Martin when I was 10. Like people now are like, I can't imagine that you're alive still.
Yeah. I can see him too as a 10-year-old. There's something for 10-year-olds in Steve Martin,
right?
You know, I mean, he's just
arrow through the head.
Funny
I'm in.
bones,
right?
You know,
it's physical and it's silly, and he was dirty, but you couldn't get it unless you knew it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So so comedy albums were big for me, and the first time I did stand-up, I was in high school. There was a talent show, and I went up and I did Cosby's dentist routine.
No kidding.
And then I did a Newhart piece, and
on the phone. One of those?
Yeah. And then I started talking about how the Western Civ teacher's been sleeping with the art teacher, and that's why they always chaperone all the overnight trips. And all of a sudden, then Mike went dead. The principal had pulled out the cord on me, and so I just put the mic down and I started screaming the rest of my routine to the audience.
That brings me to your book, Dear Mrs. Fitzsimmons,
right?
Which is basically, tell them what it is. It's sort of a collection of letters you had to take home from the principal.
Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble growing up. I was very defiant and rebellious, very angry. I come from just, Bronx Irish Catholic anger, just random.
Yeah, those are angry people.
Who can we aim it at?
Yeah.
What can we aim it at?
Who cares? Just aim it, shoot it.
Aim it. It's basically the emotional breath is like flaming rage, sleep. Not much in between there at all. And so the letters, I remember them coming in, but then it wasn't until about 6 or 7 years ago that I was going through my aunt's basement in the Bronx, and I found a box filled with letters, report cards, arrest reports.
Yeah.
My mother saved every evidence of me being a fuck. Can I say fuck up?
Of course.
Yeah. And then
she was building a case against you.
It was almost like she wanted to have it in case I started to feel real good about myself. She could deal them out like cards. Right. And I couldn't believe it. And I'm looking through them, and then I just had a book agent approach me about, look, we think that you have enough exposure from Howard Stern and whatever else that you could probably sell a book if you had a good idea.
Right.
So I said, what about these letters? And he's like, done. So
They're all real.
They're all real. I mean, there's a letter. Yeah. I got charged with assault with a deadly weapon freshman year of college.
That's fun.
I got arrested for fighting in a bar when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
I got arrested for fighting in Providence, Rhode Island one night. And each time, here's my luck. Always get arrested on a Friday night because the judge doesn't come in till Monday morning. Right. And you sit in there for 3 days.
Stay the weekend.
Whole weekend.
Yeah, there you go.
It was brutal.
Oh.
So, I mean, not brutal. Look, this isn't lockup.
Sure.
But, it was
not
uncomfortable.
Fun.
Not fun.
Uncomfortable.
And so, so we put together this book, and it was really emotional to write it because ultimately it started to be about where the rebelliousness came from.
Right.
And my father is this authority figure who was abusive, alcoholic, and I felt really beaten down.
Yeah.
And I wanted to fight back my whole life. So anybody that represented authority to me, I just railed against. I still do. There's a reason why I've never had a boss. I mean, when I write on TV shows, I get fired after a little while.
Right.
They love bringing me in. They're like, Greg Fitzsimmons, he's hilarious. Let's bring him in. Right. And then the third time, I don't come to the staff meeting.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like it.
Right.
Pack the bags, Fitzsimmons.
Yeah.
You're not so funny anymore.
Right.
So anyway.
Well, for the record, I'm not an authority figure. I'm just, do whatever you want to do,
Yeah, beards rarely have any authority. Librarians,
you have to
that's
go
about
back
it.
pretty far in history.
Yeah, right. Then they had all the authority.
Yeah, then they had...
Yeah.